Morrigan brought me here while showing me the alluvions. I'd forgotten all the colors. Judging by the bloodstains, he tried to get through here.
What's wrong? That one doesn't like you?
This mirror doesn't look broken, but it's inactive. Maybe there's a way to unlock it. The blood trail leads to this mirror.
Right. Let's see where this guy came from.
Elven ruins. I'm not sure we're even in Orlais anymore. Another Kunari, dressed like the one in the Winter Palace.
He's Karashok, a foot soldier. Must have been in the same squad. Oh, this is gonna be fun. The old team together again to kick some ass. How about it, Katan?
Ah, we're doing the names, are we?
It's a title of honor, Katan.
I need a drink.
Do you want your Amatus to cheer you up? I could do some of those flexes you like.
Scorch marks everywhere. This is the work of a mage.
A powerful one. I can still feel the heat crackling.
We need to find out why these Kunari were here and who did this to them. Over there, Kunari. If we want to know why they're here, we've got to get across to that island.
The elves bound a spirit here. It feels old. Very old.
What does it want? I think I know what to say. Milana de Thaverin. Rivas, Vir Anaris.
Seemed to work. What did you say?
It was part of a ritual. A secret greeting from those Fen'Harel trusted. If Mythal's Well of Sorrows knew this, were they close? Friends, or... I'm not sure. was like Veilfire. It claimed this was a refuge for elven slaves.
You mean the ancient elves kept slaves? Maker's breath. One more thing never to tell Daisy.
This whole valley was a sanctuary created by the dreadwolf Fen'Harel. This doesn't make sense. In Dalish legends, Fen'Harel is our god of misfortune.
So, we're getting the band back together. That's exciting.
Don't tell me the Viscount of Kirkwall misses skulking around and shooting people.
You've never been to the Viscount's Keep, have you, Sparkler? Spend 2 hours there and you'll be glad to be shot at.
Here we go again. What a change of pace from the Winter Palace. A clear sky, a beautiful view, and yes, fields and fields of stripweed as far as the eye can see.
You bring your handkerchief?
I'm not allergic.
You always say that, and a half hour later you're taking mine.
Amatus, can you not fuss like an old...
Aha!
Let's move on, shall we?
This is Fen'Harel helping former slaves as a mortal, not a god.
Kinda curious that this guy had to specify he wasn't a god.
Ordinary guy saves people, accidentally founds religion. Sounds a lot like the chant, actually.
Fen'Harel sounds like quite the rebel. The old elven gods must have simply loved that.
This claims the elven gods were just Evaneris, powerful, but completely mortal mages.
Whoever ran this place was trying to rebuild the slaves' confidence. Get rid of old propaganda.
If that's true, Fen'Harel was teaching these freed slaves the truth about these false gods.
You alright, boss?
The anchor's flared up. It's fine now. This looks like it fits into that pedestal by the broken bridge.
This place is creepy. Cuts all over the back. He was killed by surprise.
This can't have happened too long ago. The blood's not even dry. Kunari!
Bust it! The Inquisition doesn't leave alive.
Why did those Kunari attack the Inquisition on sight?
No idea. They weren't Talvashoth, though. This might be a rogue group, but they think they're following the Qun.
That's Fenharel, removing a Dalish elf's Valisleen.
Isn't this place older than the Dalish?
Maybe the markings used to have a different meaning. What's this? Hidden weapons. These freed slaves actually fought back against the Evenuris posing as gods.
Interesting word, Evenuris. If all it means is mage leader, well, they were basically magisters.
This letter says the Kunari came to these ruins because the Illuvians connect to Halam Shiral.
So they're aiming for the Winter Palace.
It was some sort of infiltration. There's no more details.
This is crazy. They're acting like we're at war.
Are they?
I don't know, boss. I wish I did.
Let's look for anything that explains why the Kunari came here before we go. A note about an unknown intruder coming through an Illuvian. They turned spirits against us, then fled.
It must be a mage. They killed any Kunari in the way and let the spirits do the rest.
Two parties then. The Kunari, and a mystery agent determined to stop them. Come on, we have to warn people about the Kunari's designs on the Winter Palace.
One dead Kunari was bad enough. Now we have more, and they're hostile.
This makes no sense. The Kunari may not be friendly to the Inquisition, but they have no reason to attack us.
They also have no reason to be here, or using Illuvians at all.
I've had the mirror placed under guard for now, Your Holiness.
Cullen, please just call me Liliana.
Yes, Liliana.
It appears the relative peace and quiet of the last 2 years is coming to an end.
First the Blight, then Mages and Templars, then Corypheus, and now this. Can't we go 10 years without the world falling to pieces?
We must ensure that the Kunari do not disrupt the negotiations. The Exalted Council is in a very delicate state.
I'm certain you can soothe the nobles' ruffled feathers while we solve the real problem.
Not when the Inquisitor insults everyone present by walking out in the middle of the talks. Our only advantage is that Orlais and Ferelden are divided in goal and grievance. If they unite against us, Divine Victoria will have no choice but to support their claims. We could lose everything.
I know we're asking a lot of you, Ambassador. I promise we won't make this any harder for you than necessary.
My apologies. I will attend to the Exalted Council.
And while Josie does that, we will investigate.
We, Your Holiness?
You do, Josie?
I'll head back to the crossroads. We need to find out what the Kunari are doing and why they attacked.
And I'll have a quiet word with our honor guard.
Maybe.
I do hope you recovered from your night at the opera. Any ear-ringing should go away in a day or two. Tell me, these strange spaces past the Eluvians, are they safe to explore?
None of it has been as bad as the nightmare in the Fade. I can tell you that.
I will take your word for it. And yet, you've accomplished so much in the calm of these past years. I wish you did not have to imperil yourself for us. Again.
I don't like to worry you, but... thank you, Josephine.
You're most welcome. Tell me if there's anything I can do to help. I will do what I can here. Once the Canary are dealt with, brace yourself. The Council is just as relentless.
Everything going all right so far?
Any word from Hawk?
I got a message from, well, best not to name an entire chain of smuggling syndicates in polite company. Anyway, Weishaupt is apparently the special kind of mess that only appears when Hawk shows up. I'm not entirely sure how it'll all play out, but my money's on Hawk walking away from the Warden's fortress as it explodes.
I don't understand how you just become a Viscount.
When the ruler of a Marcher state dies and there's no heir, the nobles of the city pick a new ruler. Only none of Kirkwall's nobles actually want the throne. Most of them think it's cursed, actually. They can't leave it empty, though, or some other state like Starkhaven or Ansburg will probably invade. I complained about the empty office when it interfered with my reconstruction efforts. They took that as volunteering.
I'm surprised no one from the Council of Heralds wants your autograph.
You just missed them. Duke Cyril keeps asking me for spoilers for my next book.
So, Bran used to be Viscount, and now he just follows you around?
Provisional Viscount.
Pretty much.
With a permanent appointee, finally, in the Viscount's office, I am free to return to my post as Seneschal.
He means my true calling is arrogantly telling people they can't talk to the Viscount. He's good at it, too.
We'll talk more another time.
I'll be here if you need me.
Your hand hurts. A heartbeat, not yours, hammering the beat of a song in its final verse. I'm sorry. Her name is different now. Victoria. The old name slips away further each time. She's glad you're here. Barefaced but free, frolicking, fighting fears. He wants to give wisdom, not orders. Being this, being me, it's harder, but better. I like me. Meriden laughs at things I say. It was the same boy. His mother on the ship, his father in their homeland. He grew up lonely. Or didn't. His friend had to die because he thought they were people. A slow arrow breaks in the sad wolf's jaws. He did not want a body, but she asked him to come. He left a scar when he burned her off his face. Sometimes the cow takes your gold. It always had a soul. The question is the answer. Hello.
Hello, and shh. I'm trying to figure out why everyone is acting so weird. I mean, besides because Canary assassins and everything. You see it, right? There's something going with the elf servants. Makes sense after that ruin, right?
It's been a couple of years. How's everything sitting with you?
It's weird meeting back up and seeing everyone get their grey. First time I've been anywhere long enough to get fond of things. Leliana's friendly when she wants to be. My people sometimes do things for her, like I do for you. And all for Andraste, I suppose. It still rings right, but the way people used to go on about it, I thought there'd be more trumpets.
When you start going on about elves, it's hard to tell if it's about them or you.
Yes, you're ever so clever. Arse. Point is, the servants have no complaints. No asking for a Jenny. They serve this lot, but don't want them done for anything.
So, the nobles are nice, and the servants are happy?
Two things that have never been true. Mark that I said it. We're fighting Canary, but something else is on the up.
I suppose you've a lot to say about that elven ruin. About the creators.
They're not even demons, just big magey knobs punching down. And yes, the shits who use them to make me feel broken can still eat it. But always waiting for that fight is way too much work. It's like doing half the hurt for them. Maybe we're old now, but I'm tired of it. I'd rather worry about people I care about. Like you. Are you all right with it? The creators?
I'll make sense of it eventually.
Good that someone's trying. Better that it's you, because you can do it.
We'll talk later.
Oh, one thing. My new Jenny near Wycombe says your clan's doing well. Nice that some things work out, even if everyone's too busy to notice. That's why I notice things.
Wish I hadn't burned all my contacts with the Ben Hastrath. Be nice to have some idea what they're doing right now.
Yeah, but then you'd be on their side, Chief.
Yes, but I'd know things. I like knowing things.
The Chargers have been with the Inquisition for a while now. Is everyone still happy?
No complaints, Your Worship. The Inquisition's been good to us. We'd disband and join the Inquisition officially, but the Chief gets this sad dog look when we suggest it.
The loyalty is touching, Krem.
I'll talk to you later.
Anytime, boss.
How did Varric, of all people, become the Viscount of Kirkwall? A mystery for the ages.
I hear you've been rebuilding the Seekers.
Slowly, but yes. I managed to find a few of my former comrades who'd scattered to the winds. Some of them were unsuitable, and I did not ask them to return. Others felt as I did, once they read the Lord Seeker's tome. We've since recruited a few candidates who are going through training now, with full disclosure. What comes after this, I cannot be certain. I'm making it up as I go along.
Sounds familiar.
I thought you'd appreciate that.
So what do you think of the Chantry?
You ask me just to poke at me and see if I react, don't you? It is what it is. Most Holy's reforms are interesting, to say the least. I hope they last once Leliana is gone. Regardless of what I think, it could have been far worse. You and I both remember the dark times we faced. Sadly, others have far shorter memories.
What do you think of the Exalted Council?
They are frightened of your power, and there is no longer a hole in the sky to remind them that it was needed.
They might be right.
Do not say that near them unless you want to give them the scent of blood. Even so, I would wait and see where this leads. Calmer heads may yet prevail.
When has that ever been the case?
I'm an optimist. Just ask Varric.
I'll see you later.
Farewell.
Need me for anything?
You don't seem to get flowers for Josephine anymore.
You only just noticed? It's been years, and we both knew it was just a momentary infatuation. She still teases me about it. Every time I walk past, she sighs and says her desk lacks cheer.
What do you think's going to happen at the Exalted Council?
Maker, I have no idea. Politics always makes my head spin. The Inquisition shouldn't have to give in whenever some prissy noble gets their knickers wedged somewhere.
What is it like, being a warden now?
Things are in upheaval. There have been heated arguments about the future of the Order. I wouldn't be surprised if we tore ourselves apart.
It's nice to have everyone back in the same place again.
I have to admit I missed it. What does it mean when we need a huge diplomatic talk or the world ending just to bring us together? I got the chance to have a few drinks with Sarah. Miss that girl. It's still a little awkward talking to Cassandra, but the commander appears to have forgiven me, finally.
Until later.
Take care.
Maker, you're a lovely sight.
Have you had a chance to speak with Leliana? Away from work, I mean.
Some, yes. Liliana has kept in contact, unofficially of course, but it's good to see her again. Arguing with her in person is far more satisfying.
Do you remember the first time we came to the Winter Palace?
All too well. I've already answered a half-dozen questions about my personal life. The reason we're here is because we made a difference. That's worth enduring the political small talk.
But you're still glad I'm here to rescue you.
Very much so.
Is there anything I should know?
We were permitted soldiers here, but our every move is watched. Some things never change.
Is there any news from Ferelden? How is your family?
My sister Mia keeps me informed. As I understand, she's training my nephew to best me at chess.
Sometimes I miss the people I knew before Haven. We get so busy. It's easy for time to slip by.
Perhaps. I'm not sure I regret that. There's still some time before these years balance those best forgotten.
I should go.
Inquisitor?
Quite the party, wasn't it? I hear it left the Orlesians and Fereldans completely aghast. Andraste's herald, the Inquisitor, toasting a Tevinter Magister. Not a bad scandal to leave on.
What is this ambassadorship about exactly?
I believe my father set it up, but the Imperium certainly didn't object. They'd love for the Inquisition to fall apart, so they're happy if it seems they consider this council a waste of time.
That makes no sense.
No? If Dread Tevinter actually pushed for the Inquisition's head, everyone else would disagree on principle. So they send a nobody pariah and hope for the best. Makes perfect sense to me.
Things are going well with the bull, I take it?
He's happy I've returned, if that's what you mean. Nearly crushed 3 of my ribs with that ridiculous hug.
You say that as if you didn't like it.
For such a great beast, he's a terrible sap. I want to talk about my feelings, Dorian.
You do like it.
Quiet, you. Get over here. And then where will I be?
What did you do in Tevinter while you were away?
I went home. Twice. The father was only there once. Mother was drunk both times. I also went to Carinas to see my good friend Maeveris. Then I settled some of Alexis's affairs. That wasn't fun.
Any thoughts about the Exalted Council?
A few. Divine Victoria needs a new tailor for one. From the paintings of Liliana in that enormous robe, you'd think she was pregnant. Could cause a delicious scandal. As for this whole Exalted Council business, well, I warned you once that no one would thank you for saving the world. Sadly, I'm always right. So long as the Inquisition's around to remind them they're not really in charge, they'll never sleep comfortably. Whether they have the guts to take action, I suppose we'll see.
Another time.
I look forward to it.
There must be something here.
Darling, what can I do for you?
I wanted your opinion of how Divine Victoria is working out.
Liliana is managing to hold the Chantry together, just barely. Likely your influence.
How are things for the Circle of Magi?
If you call it the Circle while they're in earshot, you'll never hear the end of it, my dear. The College of Enchanters is a ridiculous mess, but it's still a useful institution for training mages.
We'll talk another time. Divine Victoria?
Please don't. It would be nice to just be Liliana again for a few days.
Oh, of course. Forgive me.
There's nothing to forgive. I just want it to be like old times.
Tell me about your nugs. Did you get any new ones?
Oh yes! A litter was born just a month ago. We are weaning them right now. If you are hoping for one, I'm afraid they're already spoken for.
Do you miss being our spy master?
I think I miss the people more than the work. Josie, Cullen, I didn't notice how much I liked having them near until they weren't. We write, of course, but it's not the same.
Have your agents any news I should hear about?
There is activity in the Tirashan. Strange elves, like those at the Temple of Mythal. No news of Solus, however.
Perhaps later, Liliana.
I'll be right here if you need anything.
Good to see you.